agents, $50,000 up front, very attractive packages to bring them in. How's that going?
Oh, it's going great, Martha. We have almost 78,000 applicants since we opened up, and we're going through. We're finding those people that really want to serve the country and really be in law enforcement. I think it's a great way to recruit now. We're taking back our rehired annuitants, people that left the job early because they weren't allowed to do the law enforcement mission. But we have so many people that are interested now in working with ICE because now they're seeing, under Secretary Noem's leadership, we have a viable law enforcement partner in the community. You are actually out there making a difference. So we're really ecstatic about seeing the increase in new recruits that are applying.
And you know, so are most of these people, you said some of them are coming back into the force. How much training does someone need if they want to just start this from scratch?
So depending on which path they choose, whether a special agent with Homeland Security investigations or a deportation officer with ERO, it could be anywhere from 4 to 6 months. We're working right now with Department of Defense to identify key members of the military that are separating, that are looking to get into law enforcement, working with veterans organizations. We're also working with local and state police departments where, you know, like myself, I came from a local city police department because I wanted to work with ICE once I saw the great work that they were doing. So we're definitely recruiting some of the best, and we're really building up our ranks since we got
$50,000 in a signing bonus. Pretty darn good. $60,000 for student loans. I believe the actual pay is $50,000 or $60,000. For former ICE agents, it's even higher than that. I think it's closer to $100,000. So, hey, listen, if you're looking for a job, you know, ICE is hiring and they paying well. $50K signing bonus. I might have to sign up my darn self. Hey, listen, if I disappear for a little while, hey, listen, I went to go get that bag, some cash. All right, $50,000. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, man, that's incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hire more ICE agents is what I say, because this is exactly what we voted for. And also this right here. Check out this next clip.
It's being called Camp Bliss. This area over here is slated to be the biggest facility in the United States to hold illegal immigrants facing deportation. And we were here as belly dump semi-trucks came and went, really working hard on this expansion to expedite it and make that bed space available. Not everyone, though, is on board with this rapid expansion. We talked with one county commissioner here in El Paso who's equating these efforts to Nazi Germany.
I think we are going down the road to becoming a fascist country. Many doubts about how people are going to be treated in these facilities. I think it's a very slippery slope, and what the actions that are taking place at this point in time are comparable, yes.
Now, DHS sources tell us that Camp Bliss could be operational within just a few weeks, starting with a limited number of detainees. And it's going to cost about $1.26 billion, but the DOD is fronting the contractors $232 million in order to begin this construction. We talked with a 23-year-old who just applied to be an ICE deportation officer, and he says that the increase in assaults on officers is not something that he's concerned about.
That's a big reason why I want to sign up for ICE, because I feel like, you know, if you believe in the USA and where it's headed, then I feel like you should fight for that.
Now, ICE is also offering other incentives like student loan forgiveness, the option for overtime, health care plans, retirement plans, and the option for these individuals to work close to home.
Wow, incredible. So you don't even have to travel crazy far. See, I was of the mindset that you signed up for ICE, you got to go wherever ICE is going, right? But I guess you can work pretty close to home. I'm assuming there is some travel, right? You're not always going to be able to stay in your hometown or wherever you live, but to stay near, I like it. I like it. $50K signing bonus, and you get some student loan forgiveness. Hey, retirement. Come on now. This sounding a little too good, man. Hey, listen, I might have to sign up. I might have to sign up. Like, this is crazy. The $50K signing bonus in and of itself, like, got me intrigued, you know. $50,000 just to round up some illegals. Sounds like money to me.
Well, as of today, Indiana is formally joining forces with federal immigration authorities to crack down on undocumented immigrants here in the state. Governor Mike Braun announced new partnerships between Indiana State Police, the Department of Corrections, Department of Homeland Security, and the National Guard to flag undocumented immigrants for possible deportation. Well, as of today, Indiana is formally joining.
Listen, every state across America, or at least all the Republican states, definitely need to be doing this. Definitely need to be doing that. 1,000%. I feel like every Republican state should be where Florida is, right? In terms of deportations, building detention facilities and deputizing officers and whatnot to speed this whole process up. Because, of course, Democrats are trying to slow it down at every corner. Now, obviously, a lot of their efforts have been quailed, right? They've been shut off. But it's not to say that they aren't going to still attempt and try. And if they manage to squeak out the midterms, you know 1,000% they're going to try anything and everything they possibly can. Now, do I think they'll squeak out a win in midterms? No. But I'm just saying if they did, Trump's agenda is basically cooked. So, I've been seeing some polls that show that, Republican voters aren't really enthusiastic about voting. And I get it, right? We just had a big win back in November, but I think it's time to get refocused again. It's getting to that time where we need to get refocused again and get ready for the midterms because Democrats are pretty motivated to go out and vote. We have to be willing to do the same, not just when Trump is on the ballot, in the big elections, which Trump's not going to be on the ballot in the big elections anymore. But we got to be ready in the midterms too. We got to be ready. Absolutely have to be ready. Rammed an ICE agent's vehicle. At least that's what it looks like. That vehicle is an ICE agent's vehicle. This pickup truck behind the van tried to floor it in reverse to get on up out of there. Now, thankfully, nobody was seriously hurt, but that's what ICE agents are dealing with. And so, hey, I support them being paid well. I definitely support that. Now, I want to show you guys this clip of this ER nurse in LA County because she has something quite interesting to say. Check it out.
Shift at one of LA County's, just got off my 12-hour shift at one of LA County's easiest hospitals and ERs. And you guys, our waiting room is just empty, like 4 patients max, like every hour. And as much as a healthcare worker enjoys a slow day, it's actually pretty scary. Like, I know that a lot of patients are just scared to seek medical care right now. And it's just really sad, the circumstances that we are in right now. And it just scares me for the results of this after, because a lot of patients are going to hold off to not seek medical care and they're going to come back 10 times sicker. And I just want to urge anybody who has any family members who are experiencing any serious symptoms to encourage them to seek medical care. Hospitals are supposed to be safe spaces, and we are there to protect our patients and care for them regardless of who they are, and where they come from. So this is just a PSA. Please, please, please educate anybody who is scared to seek medical care to seek it if necessary, and don't wait. Just got off.
So let's break that down here, because what she said there was quite interesting. She said now all of a sudden that ICE is out in deporting illegals, right? Our ER is basically empty now. So what does that tell you? A lot of folks in LA County, in Cali, California, are illegals. Because why would an American citizen be afraid to go to the doctor? You wouldn't be, right? None of us are. When I walk anywhere, right? Go outside, whatever, touch some grass, I'm not afraid ICE is gonna, hey, get over here. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all. ICE isn't going after American citizens. They're going after illegals. So if your ER is all of a sudden empty, that tells me there's a lot more illegals there than what we've been led on to. That's what that says. There's a whole lot of illegals. So, hey, listen, I need to call up Tom Homan because He gonna have to step it up in LA County. This is getting a little crazy. We got ERs going empty, malls empty, streets being completely empty now. Yo, it's a lot more illegals out there than we've been led on to, and ICE needs to flood the streets. Flood the streets. Because that is crazy. That is crazy. Get every single one of them out of there. Make sure they're not counted in the next census. We don't need them being counted in the census, which I don't even know why illegals are counted in the census in the first place. That doesn't even make sense to me, but I guess a lot of things in this world don't make a whole lot of sense, right? Like voting Democrat, but who am I? Just a guy who talks on the internet from time to time.
We're talking about child predators, sex offenders, human smugglers. These are all the targets of ICE right now in their current operations, trying to remove these violent criminals off of American streets and communities. And News Nation was the only one there when they arrested a convicted child sex offender here. This was a man from Mexico here on a green card, and he was taken into custody in El Paso early Friday morning. Now, Jonathan Oliveira Vega, he's a convicted child sex offender who was found guilty of multiple crimes involving children under the age of 14, including sexual abuse, indecency with a child by contact, and aggravated sexual assault, all stemming from incidents between May and August of 2021. Now, despite the severity of these charges, he was sentenced to probation and placed on community supervision as of May of this year because of a conviction. He was taken into custody without incident while we were there. Take a listen to the ICE supervisor.
We just need to overwhelm him to not give him that option to think, to make sure we make this a successful apprehension, right? And luckily, he didn't have a chance to go into the house. A lot of vehicles, as you could tell when we pulled up, I felt like he was thinking a little bit, but then he saw 3 more vehicles pull up to the front. And so he gave up at that point, but clearly he didn't want to roll down his window. But at that point, we have the authority to extract him from the vehicle because we have the warrant in our hand and we know who he is.
Now, Nicole, this was all part of a multi-agency effort. ICE and HSI, of course, were there, but so was the DEA and the FBI in order to make sure that nothing went wrong in this apprehension. Now, this guy was just one of many nationwide who's being picked up by ICE, who, again, they say are the worst of the worst. Nicole.
All right, so Ali, you mentioned the fact that this enforcement is not isolated to 1 or 2 cities. It's happening nationwide. What more can you tell us about some of the other arrests?
Yeah, so we actually just got our hands exclusively on some details of the latest arrest from ICE, from Atlanta to Philadelphia to Dallas. Here's just a few of the individuals who they recently arrested. These guys were all arrested yesterday. They all have convictions, and some of their convictions include sex crimes against children, forcible touching, possession and conspiracy to distribute meth, and then assault and battery of an officer. And then we've also learned that in Kansas City last month, a 34-year-old named Mario Torres Lopez, he's from Mexico. He admitted to being a member of the Sureños Sur 13 gang. He has been deported from the U.S. 4 times. Now, each of these individuals that were on your screen, Nicole, they are all in ICE custody pending their time in front of a judge who will determine if they are removable. Nicole.
Right. Ali Bradley live for us there in Del Rio, Texas. Thank you.
Guy was deported 4 times. 4. Listen, that is just ridiculous. We might need to, I know Trump was joking when he said it, but I think we might need to put some gators in the river, man, because that is just ridiculous. Being deported 4 times and coming back every single time, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And you're about to be deported for a 5th time once again. That is crazy. 4 separate times you've been deported and come back. How do you, like, what? I mean, obviously the border is secure now, but it's just like, come on now, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. At that point, I'm almost just like, just throw this man in prison for life. You know, I know, taxpayer dollars, but you keep coming back and maybe that'll be a deterrent. Hey, if we catch you more than twice in this country illegally, matter of fact, no, once. If we deport you and then we catch you again in this country illegally, you're going to jail for life. For life. Mandatory minimum. Life sentence. Done. Going to jail for life. I think that'll be a little bit of a deterrent, you know, for people to, hey, once I get deported, hey, I'm staying. I'm staying back where I'm from. I ain't coming back because I don't want to go sit in a concrete cage for the rest of my life. But what do y'all think? Let me know. Let me know.
My name is Hector Mendoza, and we're at Cañón del Padre. This is the colonia where we live at.
Where are you from?
California. Yeah, in Santa Ana, Orange County. I grew up there 30 years, and I was just recently deported. So now I live here. So it's quite the change from there to here.
So how old were you when you immigrated to the U.S.?
I was 6 months old. I didn't find out I was undocumented until I was 17.
You didn't even realize that you had came over illegally your entire life?
No, I never knew. I don't believe it's something you would ask your parents or parents would bring up to you.
How'd you find out?
I applied for a driver's license.
And what'd they say?
They asked me for my social security and I didn't know what that was.
And what'd your parents say?
They said, we have to move.
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but did you get convicted of a crime prior to being deported?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I got convicted of, grand theft for a bicycle that I bought, which I thought was legit, but ended up being stolen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and it was worth at least $4,000.
You bought it on Craigslist?
No, I bought it off somebody on the street.
So you walked past a dude and he had a bike for sale.
He was offering the bike to sell, and my brother knew him and sold me the bike, and I was like, okay. And I got arrested. Not even that same day I got arrested. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But were you caught by like a federal agency?
Oh yeah, I was. I was at home when I was arrested and taken to federal custody. Mm-hmm. There I began deportation hearings in Mendoza, and we're at Cañón del
30 years. 30 years. Now, if I'm going to take him for his word on this, right, and his arrest was just a mix-up, like he bought a bike that he thought was legit from a guy. I mean, it's a little weird to buy a bike for $4,000, but hey, on the street, but hey, crazier things have happened. If that was legit and he was still, 18, 19, maybe even 20, I would have some type of sympathy towards him, but bro, you're 30. You're 30. You figured out you were an illegal when you were 18, when you went to go get a license and realized, oh crap, yeah, I ain't got no social security number. Mom, am I a citizen? No, you're not. We gotta go. You could have started the process then, right? I got a heart. I would have felt some type of, sympathy for him if he was like 19, 20. Still, while he's getting deported, I'm like, dang, man, that kind of sucks. You didn't know. You had no clue. You were 6 months when your parents brought you here. It's not really your fault. It's your parents' fault. But still, I feel bad for you. You've lived your entire life here, had no clue. You're just over here just living your life. And you realize, oh, crap, I'm not even a citizen here. I ain't got no social security number. And now I'm getting deported. But no, you're 30. You're 30, bro. You had plenty of time to buy a toilet and a ruler and get your poop straight. So, no, I don't have any sympathy for you. Sorry. Nope. Fresh out. Anyway, that's where we're going to end today's update on deportations. There will be more coming soon because ICE, they're out here in full force, and I'm absolutely loving it. So, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. Is this what you voted for? I know it's what I voted for, and I absolutely 1,000% support it. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.